So welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Allison.
And my name's Zach.
And we are missing a very important member of our family because he is sleeping and you don't want to wake a sleeping baby. But baby Cooper is 3 weeks old today, which is just crazy.
Oh man, the time has just kind of flown by.
It's gone fast, but I also feel like it's felt like longer than 3 weeks. But I think it's because so much has happened in the last 3 weeks of our lives that it's hard to believe that it's only been 3 weeks.
Yeah, like it's flown by, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever been more alert.
Yeah.
But just being parents, it's like a complete change of mind. It's a complete. It's like a 180 from not being parents.
Right, totally.
Holy
like
cow.
Being able to sleep and eat and do whatever we want when we want. We wanted to just recap the last 3 weeks of his life and kind of just fill you in on how that's going. We did post our birth story, so if you want to watch that, I'm going to tag it
up here on the thing.
You know, being sleep deprived, it does make your brain work a little bit slower. But we're hanging in there. So I am going to link that up here so you can check out the birth vlog. If you have any questions about anything, just comment down below.
So let's talk about the first day taking Cooper home from the hospital.
Yeah, I just remember being so antsy and ready to break out of the hospital. We were there for 4 nights, so we were there longer than we thought because of my C-section. And I couldn't wait to get out of there. But
yeah, both of us wanted to get out of there.
Yes, I just felt like we were in a state of limbo, like our life wasn't starting until we left. When it was finally time to walk out of there, the nurse was carrying him out, and then Zach had stuff in his hands, and these guys were power walking. I felt like I was sprinting to get out of there, and I was just falling behind because I just had a C-section. I can only do so much. And maybe they weren't walking as fast as I thought you guys were, but it felt like it.
I just took a beeline for the car because I wanted to, make sure everything was ready to go just so we could leave.
And it was kind of a surreal moment when the nurse clicked him into his car seat, and it was like, real now, like we're the ones in charge of him.
Yep.
And no one else is here to help us. I mean, we have friends and family, of course, but it was just kind of a surreal moment.
Yeah, I think the moment when it hit me was like when we were actually leaving because I was driving the car.
Right.
And that was stressful.
I bet that was stressful for you, driving him for the first time.
The first time with my child in the car.
Yeah, having precious cargo. And it was raining, which didn't help.
It was pouring down raining. It was like, man.
Which is not ideal for the first time, but...
No, but...
We made it. We made it home. The day that we brought him home, I was so eager to get our dogs home and get them acclimated. So my mom brought them back home about 30-ish minutes to an hour after we got home. Because I was really nervous about how that was going to go. Because our dogs are really good dogs, but they are guard dogs. They're protective. They're blue heelers. They're very, territorial of their people.
We weren't sure how the dogs were going to accept Cooper into the pack. Or if they were.
Right, because I just kind of expected them to be, overly jealous and not like him. Because they're very much my dogs. They're very attached to me, and they are where I am, basically.
Yeah.
But it went really good. Way better than I thought. They smelled him. They were so gentle. Yeah. And I couldn't have asked for it to go any better.
Yeah, I think that they kind of knew right away what was going on.
And we did do some things, I think, that probably helped it. I talked about baby Cooper a lot before he was born. And then I had my mom take a swaddle that he was in so then they could smell him. And she would, use his name with the smell. And I think that helped, too. And they're the cutest little things. Because Cooper makes a little noise and they make a beeline to go check on him. And sometimes when he's sleeping and just making baby sounds, I won't necessarily get up right away. But if he's making noises and I'm not getting up right away, one of the dogs will come back and get me and hello, he's making noises, you need to come in there. Even if he's perfectly fine, it's really pretty cute.
Let's talk about feeding.
Oh, feeding. So I first started off breastfeeding.
That was a roller coaster.
It was a roller coaster. So first of all, if you've never breastfed, it's pretty painful. And he was tongue-tied, so like his tongue was like attached at the bottom. And that makes it even more painful than like if you wasn't. We got that corrected, but it was really painful. And I breastfed him for about a week. I knew that he wasn't getting enough. In my heart of hearts, I knew. I just knew. And so when we went to the doctor, she was like, go ahead and like supplement if you feel like you need to, like you don't necessarily have to yet. And I did because I knew that he wasn't getting enough. I could just tell.
Yeah, he wasn't getting much at all.
And so when I decided to supplement, I was like, oh, I'll just supplement 1 bottle and then I'll just pump and see how much I'm getting. I literally got like a teaspoon at the most.
Like it wasn't even an ounce a day.
Yeah. And so then I was like, well, then I'm going to supplement the next feeding too and then just continue to pump until I get a new bottle and then we'll just like do what we can. But it took me almost 2 days to even get a 2-ounce bottle.
Yeah.
And I tried.
We fed that to him.
Yeah, we did feed that to him, but I kept trying to pump and like it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting enough, and I was like, you know what, a bottle every 2 days isn't worth the stress and the time that it takes to pump. So he is fully formula fed, which I really wanted to breastfeed him, but it just didn't work out. And
right.
My grandma said that she also never had like a good milk supply either. So I don't know if it's hereditary or what the case may be, but at the end of the day, like he's on formula, and once we switched to formula, things got a lot easier.
Oh, much easier.
Because
so that way I could help too.
Yeah, and then it wasn't all on me to feed, and he was a lot happier because he was actually being fed, and it just made a huge difference.
It was like night and day.
Absolutely. So I don't have any regrets. There is a lot of pressure out there to breastfeed your child because, you know, your body gives them the nutrients that they need. But the most important thing is that the baby is fed. And if you could tell later on in life, like if someone was formula fed or breastfed, it might have been different. I would have probably tried harder, but you can't tell. You don't know, and it doesn't matter. As long as they're fed and you're doing everything you can to nourish your child, it doesn't matter. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and it's okay. So let's talk about sleeping.
Oh, sleeping.
Figuring out sleeping has been challenging. Probably the most challenging of it all, honestly.
Yeah.
It's gotten better once we switched to formula because it no longer was just on my shoulders.
Right.
And he wasn't sleeping the greatest when I was breastfeeding. Like he was just a lot crabbier because he was hungrier.
Right.
And just being able to share the load has been helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that way I can give Allison a break and you know, so you have a little bit more personal time.
And just like more time to like sleep more than an hour or two at a time.
Yeah.
Has helped. He is a good sleeper, but the biggest issue is his mornings and nights are mixed up. He sleeps solid during the day, and we do our best to like do all the things, you know, to stimulate him and whatever, but he likes to be awake between like midnight and 4 a.m. And he is still figuring that out. And I know he'll get there. It's just a matter of time. He's only 3 weeks old.
Yeah, I think it's normal for the first couple of months to be like that.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've kind of read.
But it's just getting through it and doing everything we can to like get him into a routine where he learns that nighttime is nighttime. And we'll get there.
Would you want to talk about postpartum depression?
I mean, sure. I feel like postpartum depression was something I was really afraid of. I was afraid that I was going to like get into this deep darkness and not be able to come out of it.
Yeah.
But really, I don't think I've struggled too much. I think I've had definitely moments of being like emotionally overwhelmed, but I think a lot of it is correlated with like lack of sleep. Like if I'm gonna be more overwhelmed or get upset, it's at night. It's in the middle of the night where, I just feel a little bit, I don't want to say alone, but it is kind of lonely when you're the only one awake and you don't have anyone to reach out to or anything because everyone's sleeping. But I would say that I wouldn't really correlate it with postpartum depression. I would correlate that with being exhausted and tired and wanting to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. But I feel like for the most part, I've been happy.
Yeah, for the most part. I don't think that you've like gone down in a spiral or anything like that.
No.
It's really, I think most of it's just from sleep deprivation.
Right, yeah.
And exhaustion.
And I wouldn't say I'm like depressed ever. I'm just tired and maybe a little crabby and emotionally overwhelmed.
Yeah, definitely crabby.
Not like all the time, just usually it's in the middle of the night.
Let's talk a little bit about how Cooper's doing.
Yes. He's just a good little baby. Really, he's not too fussy.
And he's cute.
He is cute. At least we think he's cute.
At least we do. Let us know.
People keep telling us he's cute, but are they just being nice? I don't know, but I don't think they're just being nice. Just saying, because he's pretty cute.
Yeah, so he's been tracking, like, if you get in his face, he'll like track your face.
Yeah, he's doing good at that.
So he's doing that pretty well.
And then during tummy time, he's doing pretty good at like turning his head from one side to the other. He does have a preferred side that he likes to like be looking at, but I think he's also doing a good job at like lifting his head and kind of controlling that. So I'm excited for that to get better. And he is just a little wiggle worm. He loves to move around and wiggle, and
especially when he's sleeping.
Cute. Yes, he's such a little wiggler.
It's so crazy to me how they move around like that and they're still sound asleep.
Yeah. And we were swaddling him, but we stopped because he just like started just rolling around like a roly-poly. And I just felt like it wasn't safe. And I just think he's happier being able to move his body around.
Yeah, I definitely think
I think he likes that. And as long as it's not waking him up and he's happy, I'm fine with that. And when they start rolling around, you're not supposed to be swaddling them anyway. So we aren't really doing that, but we are putting him in us like sleep sacks and stuff like that to keep him warm. But yeah, he's not too fussy. He's really easy to like settle down. He'll like fuss like when he needs something, whether it's like a diaper change or he's hungry or things like that. But
if his stomach is hurting him, that's probably when it's the most challenging.
Yeah. But even then, though, it's easier. Like, it's not like he's crying for hours. Because some babies do. No. They cry for hours and you can't console them. And he's pretty easy to console. So I think we're really blessed to have such a good little baby. So going forward with our channel, we do plan on our channel being more vlog style, a little bit more of like parenting from our perspective.
Yeah, and a little more day in the life kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we will do like the food content and stuff that we were doing before because we enjoy that and that's like for us to do. And we're just kind of going to see how it goes. And we're not really sure on what our content looks like, but we love making content. It's good for me to use my brain to edit videos and think about it. Just like staying at home with him, I wanted to make sure that I had something to use, like to use my brain in a different way. So we are going to be more committed to YouTube over the next year or forever, who knows. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with that. And we just want to thank you so much for watching. If there's any questions you have about how things are going, we'd love to share it with you. And we're just grateful to be on this adventure and hopefully you join us.